hopes that they would allow me to sail. It took a while, but it worked. They would give me 1/10 of what I brought back to Spain. When I got there was these Indians who were giving me presents. They thought we couldn't survive on our own. They were trying to insult me. Later, we saw other Indians with tiny gold earrings. We must get more of that gold. They'd make perfect slaves. So we went around, and we found gold. And I left my crew there while I told the king and queen about our luck. Then we brought back more ships and crew members, and we found a little bit of gold, not as much as we thought there was. And then we captured some slaves. We didn't have much to return with, but I'm the best sailor ever.
Me and some of the crew joined Christopher Columbus in sailing in the search for spices, but instead we found gold. Looked for more gold. And we captured some Native Americans as slaves and made them help us mine. If they did not come back with gold, we would chop their hands off. What an ingenious idea. What a hero. Oh, and also whoever found land would get gold. And of course, Christopher Columbus found it.
Francisco Pizarro. I'm an explorer. I'm going back to South America to get more gold from the Incas, because the first time I went there, I got a lot of gold. So I'm going to go back and capture the king so I can get all the gold medals that I want, and then I'll be a hero to all people. I did a similar thing to what Christopher Columbus did, except I went in a different direction and I'm way better than Christopher Columbus.
I am a queen that queens want to be. I brought crime rate down and repeated an enormous stat my brother left. This is my wonderful husband, who just happens to be my second cousin.
Yes, I am married to my second cousin, Queen Isabella, who happens to be very smart. She was the one who convinced me to let Christopher Columbus sail to Asia to get gold and spices for Spain.
Yep, it took 6 years, but finally when I agreed, it was a relief when he stopped asking. I hope he brings that stuff soon. I really want it. But I believe he is great at it. I trust him.
Another fact about me is that I was the one who told Robert that I didn't trust Christopher Columbus. I did not think he was worth our money. But he changed my mind.
He can be so stuck up, but I hope he can truly be the greatest sailor of all, as he claims, and bring us that stuff.
My name is Samuel E. Morrison. My real middle name is Elliot. I am a writer. I even published a book in 1954. It is called Christopher Columbus Mariner. Christopher Columbus is the one who found America. I even followed the route that Christopher Columbus took to see where I land. I never lied about Christopher Columbus. I just didn't think that genocide of the native people was very important, and so it was only a small part of my book. I spent my time researching on how Christopher Columbus was such a great sailor.
I do not like Christopher Columbus. He called me an Indian when he's not even in the right place. Hispaniola, not the Indies. I also hate him because he took men, women, and kids. Christopher Columbus aimed for slaves and gold. To get the gold, he would make 13 plus in age boys get him gold. The Europeans would hunt the people that ran away down. And I hate this guy. We are fighting back because he did these things to us.
He killed. He just wanted all the gold for the king and queen. I wrote about in my book as the nearly born. They died early because their mothers overworked and they had no milk to nurse them. And for this reason, while I was in Cuba, 7,000 children died in 3 months. Some mothers even drowned their babies from sheer desperation. In this way, husbands died in the mines, wives died at work, and children died from lack of milk. My eyes have seen these attacks so foreign to humans' nature, and now I tremble as I write.
I was collecting quinoa for my family's meal when a ship came up to the shore. A man named Francisco Pizarro stepped off the ship. He captured our king Atahualpa. Then he refused to give him back after the king paid him money. Then he executed him.
Well, we've been helping these people for a week. Me and my friend Anu Pamba, we loathe them. Wait, did they hear that? Phew, they didn't hear that. Anyway, they have such ungrateful souls. There have been 10 villagers gone missing, and I think it was Columbus's crew. Good thing is they're leaving back to Spain soon, and we are going to make the 40 men that they are leaving behind suffer. Columbus will have no gold miners. If you ask me, he will be in jail when they find out. Well, they might get suspicious. I need to leave now.
I'm Rodrigo de Triana, and I lived in Lepi, Spain. I was just a normal crewmate. I dreamt of getting the huge reward for spotting land, but it was just a dream. Until Christopher Columbus gave me a night shift on October 2nd, 1492. So, when I spotted land at 2 a.m., I obviously yelled as loud as I could, "Terra, Terra," because I saw land. I was a hero to my crew. But later, in the captain's log of the ship, Christopher claimed that he saw white 10 p.m. the day before. I kind of disliked him before, but after that, I kind of despised him. He took the rewards, which I was confident that I would get by with the King of Queen of Spain, and well, no, I didn't. I still don't know why he would do that.
White people came to our land and they named it Jamestown after their king. They were asking each other why no one had settled here before, but we had settled here. And so we took their leader, John Smith, to our hut. Our chief Powhatan, was deciding his fate. They most likely would have executed him if his daughter Pocahontas had not begged him to let him live. 2 days later, John Smith was released and returned to his fort, and we were friends. And then returned, they captured Pocahontas and took them back to their hut as their prisoner. But then peace was created when Pocahontas and John Rolfe got married. But then many white people came to our land for the tobacco that the white people were growing. And so we attacked plantations to protect our land. They attacked back, and the land set on fire. The white people could have been able to go back to England or something, but we had nowhere else to go.
Christopher Columbus is a doodleberry because he killed some people in Artois. The Artois gave him a lot of gold. All he did was take. Columbus took Artois for prisoners, and he wanted their tiny gold ornaments in their ears. He thought they would take him to the gold. I kind of like him because I get the day off on Columbus Day. I go shopping, play on my iPad, play video games, and watch movies. That's why I kind of like him.
Because he killed off the Native Americans and lied. First of all, he landed in Hispaniola in the Bahamas, not even in America. Second, he didn't even spot the land. His crewmate Rodrigo did. And he said he spotted the land just so he could get a reward of money. Third, he sent men to look for gold. Then he sailed back to Spain and lied to the king and queen that he had mountains of gold for them. But he came back to Hispaniola and all the men were dead. Fourth, if he is so important, why do we not have school off for this holiday? Fifth, the Native Americans were there first because they settled there. And sixth, Leif Erikson, a Viking, discovered America first. That is why I think Christopher Columbus is a villain.
Christopher Columbus wasn't the best guy, but he wasn't the best sailor either. He always said, "I'm the best sailor. I'll find a faster route to Asia." So in 1492, he set sail for Asia and missed it by a lot. Here's what we all know. He found America. Wrong. He landed in the Bahamas, which isn't actually part of the U.S. nowadays. If you live in North America, he didn't even explore here. So much for thinking we lived in a place that had famous explorer DNA in it. My point here is that he was a person who sort of found America, but he was not the best of navigators and he was not the smartest.
I think Christopher Columbus is mean because he was mean to the Indians.
Yesterday I sold this book and it's about Christopher Columbus and he's not such a bad guy. I mean, he killed the what's his names, the gold earrings. I don't see anything wrong with that. People in history like this inspire me to do what I do, which is stealing.
To me, Christopher Columbus is a villain, but he is also a hero. He's done bad things, but think about it. Yeah, it's bad he killed all those Arawaks just to get gold for the king and queen, and that the Indians died in the mines, or that in Cuba 7,000 children died in 3 months just so Columbus could have fame. But it wouldn't have shaped the future the way it is now. I might not have had the same parents, or my life might have been a lot different.
As a teacher, I think it is important to know your point of view of Columbus. I'm teaching about Columbus, if he's a hero or a villain. Columbus has two sides to him. He is good, but he's also bad. He used to kill so many Native Americans. There were 75 million before Columbus came and killed almost all of the Native Americans. We could have learned so many more languages, wear different clothes, and tried different food. I think of the upside. We would have been so different without Columbus. We might not be living in the same community, slash environment, or even worse, we might not be alive.
I was a good leader. I was one of the only colonies counselors who was a counselor for the law. If you don't work, you don't live. It was my idea to make the fort. This Indian girl saved me, and later traded goods. After John Smith left, we were in very bad shape. People were starving and dropping left and right. We needed something to trade, like gold. Then I grew this tobacco that was sweeter than the stuff we grew in England, and we could make peace with the Indians. I made a lot of money selling tobacco. We survived. Many people call me Pocahontas, but after I married John Rolfe, I got a new English name, which is now Rebecca Rolfe. You probably know me for saving the life of John Smith. All I really wanted to do, though, was show that there could be peace between Native Americans and the English settlers. I was so used to living in a tribe that ran very smoothly that I couldn't bear to see people killing each other. I decided that I would help the English and brought them food. I was trying to show them that my people aren't mean and vicious after all.
The Roanoke Colony, which is now North Carolina. I was born on August 18th, 1587. Since I was the first person to be born in America, that makes me the first original American. My grandfather was John White. He was the governor of Roanoke. Roanoke was very busy, but one day we ran out of supplies and grandfather had to go back to England to get more. When we came back, we were gone. The only thing left behind was a wood scorpion carved into a tree.
My name is Hannah. I am a woman on the Mayflower. It was hard for us during the day. John Howard even fell off the ship during a storm. Some people died during our traveling times, and it was just so hard. I don't know how we made it.
I was the secretary to John Carver. I work hard to help my wife and my children. I live in Plymouth, and on the trip on the Mayflower, a storm hit and I was falling off the boat. I even have a painting that is called Howland Overboard of me falling off the ship. I helped with the treaty, and I had a pretty okay life.
A man named Herman Cortez came to our land, and although many people hated us, we gave him good hospitality, but he betrayed us. He captured our leader and forced the rest of us to bring him gold and jewels and said, "Oh, this is the emperor's idea." But we knew better. We began to fight with him, and we won that fight. But then Cortez struck back. He's been killing us one by one, and soon it will be my turn to be killed. And once he has wiped out all the Aztecs, including our leader, who has actually already been killed, then he will be in charge of Mexico. Oh, they've announced my name. It's time for me to be killed.
Boy, am I glad that I helped the settlers, because in return they invited not just me to the feast we later named Thanksgiving, but my whole Pactusut tribe to Thanksgiving. And all I had to do was teach them how to plant seeds and a few survival tricks, and now we are happy. But there's been a disease, and I'm feeling a bit ill and sick. Food shortages have been going on here, and I don't know if I'm gonna live, but at least I got to go to the first Thanksgiving.
I survived the disease in 1616. It killed 9 of 10 of our people. It was a terrible time. Then we had to give our land to the Narazat, the people of the West. In 1620, people called the Pilgrims came. We came off a ship. Half the Pilgrims died that winter. The rest lived by digging up the food that we buried years before. After the Pilgrims' hard times, a man named Squanto helped the Pilgrims. In 1620, the Pilgrims had a feast in honor of their successful harvest. We brought deer, and they had duck, geese, and other food.
We are being falsely accused for kidnapping the Winoka people because we put our name in a tree. They do not have any evidence to prove that we did something to them. And also they invaded our land, so if we did something to them, we would be even. But we didn't, so they should be accused. And those people who went back, it was their fault for not giving them enough resources. So it is not our fault.
I am part from a small Native American group called the Crow. We were friends when a storm came to Croton Village and the trees and grass were burned. It was terrible. Seeds were gone, but it was not out. John White's daughter Eleanor and granddaughter Virginia were gone. The tree, there is a name, but it told John White where is the daughter and granddaughter. So they went to their boat and they went to Croton Island. That proves that the Croton's did not do anything.
I'm the leader of my people in my native homeland, or as we call it, our Tessakamaka. Life is pretty nice being a leader, except for all those decisions. I make decisions all the time, like what to do with those pesky Europeans. I do not like them, as they are invading land in modern-day Virginia. As I said before, I control pretty much everything, like what to do with the leader John Smith. Although we tried to make peace at some points, they refused. I mean, if they fight us, we will defend and fight back. I am proud that we burnt down the houses in Jamestown, as we were worried that they will grow to unimaginable numbers.
You can't put oil in Missouri River. It's not fair. We have rights too. Don't ruin our water. We're not going anywhere. We're staying here. We're protesting for water for the Sioux tribe. Don't build a pipeline to ruin our good drinking water.
I was on Facebook the other day and I saw that Native Americans are in the U.S. So I did some research and it was true. Over 6.6 million Native Americans are in the U.S. Native Americans made 2.0 of the population in 2015. Also, only 13% of all Native Americans speak a language other than English. Then I saw this thing about the pipeline. It's 1,172 miles and 30 in diameter. That is a long pipeline. They started this whole thing in 1715. Thank goodness for Facebook. I wouldn't have ever known this.
I'm told I have to build this pipeline, but really I'm against it. Why should we ruin water? Why can't we find somewhere else for the oil to flow? I would change this, I really would, but I'm a lowly construction worker. I could be punished. Even worse, I could be fired. I really don't want to get in trouble. My boss is my older cousin, and to be honest, she never smiles and is really, really firm. What should I do to help the Sioux? The only thing I get out of this job is money. Why can't I get another job?
I think the pipeline will benefit us. We need the money. I can't believe the federal judge delayed the construction. We'll just have to wait till Donald Trump's in the White House. He'll agree with us. He wants money too. These people think that the pipe is going to leak. Fools. It's a new steel pipe. Kelsey Warren, my boss, and the owner of this company, is going to make sure that everything will run smoothly. The Sioux tribe's water will be fine. Plus, I need to get paid, and this is my job.
Normally you would think a historian would have no say in a pipeline. But if you think about it, this pipeline I should talk about. The reason why is this. Back in the day, many powerful countries wanted land in the Americas, so they killed the Native Americans that lived there. Now with the little of them scattered in the U.S., people were doing things that could lower the amount of them even more. Think of what this could do, and think about what we have done to them already.
Today, me and my fellow veterans are protesting against the North Dakota pipeline. At first, there were 2,000 of us, now fewer remain. I just feel like it's so wrong that they're doing this. The Standing Rock Sioux tribe deserve their rights. I did this because this is the best thing I could be doing at the moment.